Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Can you hear me okay down there? Good morning. Con Murphy's my name. I'm the Principal Race Officer, and you're all very welcome. We've a great entry for the regatta, almost 350 boats, and it looks like we'll have some great weather. Hopefully that sea breeze, it is forecast to fill in this afternoon. It's already starting to fill in, and so we've set up today's racing taking that into account. First of all, before I talk about that, we have five, from tomorrow onwards, we have 5 different race areas, and we have 5 international race officers. Michael Tyrrell is here on my right-hand side, and Michael will be looking after the coastal course, or it's called, this year it's called the Outer Bay course, And then once he gets the Outer Bay guys going, he'll then also be looking after the South Area course. I've Bill O'Hara here, who's just flown in from a TP52 event in Portugal. And Bill is looking after the Melges 15 European Championships. We're delighted to have that class having their inaugural European Championships here during the regatta. Eddie Totterdill is with me here. Eddie, as you know, from Dublin Bay, newly appointed international race officer. Eddie will be on the West course, what in the past we used to call the South Bull course, but we've renamed it now for this regatta, the West area. And then there's 2 other race officers, the 2 Davids, David Wilkins and David Lovegrove. They're not here yet. They don't have racing today on their course areas. But David Wilkins will be in Salt Hill area looking after the dinghies, and David Lovegrove will be on what we call our North area course, which is basically between here, out towards between here and Howth, as per, yeah. So, and we're actually just taking an opportunity to thank the support we get from David and his team from Howth every regatta. They're brilliant. They bring over a whole team with 2 committee boats. So, just for today's race, first of all, there are different WhatsApp groups. There are 3, and I've posted the courses. There's 2 separate courses for the 2 groups on that WhatsApp. The information group. There's also a social group, and then there's a coastal for the guys in the coastal fleet. They have a separate WhatsApp, and the guys in the coastal fleet, you're allowed to reply on that. But if you could just keep the feedback on that WhatsApp group confined to your mark rounding and finish times as per the SIs. The other 2 WhatsApp groups, you can't reply to them. But so if you have any queries, results queries, etc., please put all those through the official notice board through the Racing Rules of Sailing portal. And if you do keep an eye on the results, and if there's any mistakes, please do that as soon as you can. Please raise the issue so that the results team have time to go back to the relevant race officer or finish race officer and sort out what the issue is. Now, today, the Bay Race. So we're starting you in 2 groups, as you see, maybe approximately up to 100 boats in each group. We're going to set a start line, quite a long start line, out from Piermark out towards Molly. And because the tide will be ebbing, we're not going to try a down tide start. So we're going to send you to South Bull. So it'll be a running start. Hopefully, I should be able to make it. That'll be a running start on starboard. I'll do my best to set it that will be the case, but obviously it depends on the wind on the day. We don't particularly want to have any general recalls, please, with that number of boats. So if you would, please do your best to stay behind the line. We have spotters on boat committee boats with good binoculars. We also have a drone out there, and if necessary, we'll revert to using that for footage of if we have individual boats over the line. So as I said, it'll be a downwind start all the way to about 2 miles to South Bull, leaving South Bull to port, and then to avoid the boats coming straight back up, we're using Sea Point as like a wing mark effectively. So it's about a half a mile from South Bull to Sea Point, and then you have a beat all the way back up the bay. For the Group 1 all the way to Island Mark, and for Group 2 all the way to Omega Mark, and then for the rest of the course, I think it's pretty clear on the. I hope it's pretty clear on the WhatsApp. So that's. But do keep an eye out at South Bull. There's obviously going to be a bit of congestion there, and then the other thing is by the time you get to Muglands. You'll be coming between Muglands and Dalkey Island. At that stage, the fleet should be reasonably well spread out, so there should be no issue with room to get down between the two, Muglands and Dalkey. Weather is, as I said, is forecast to have a decent sea breeze, but you know, in Dublin Bay, you never know. We're fingers crossed we will get 10 to 15 knots. There is a possibility of visibility reducing a bit. Just Dublin Airport are suggesting there's a 30% chance of the visibility dropping a bit. Hopefully that won't happen in the bay. And I think that's really the Melges guys, if you're here, they're going to be racing today. They have a practice race at 3 o'clock, and it will be around in Salt Hill. Just around the back of the West Pier here to stay out of the way of the other racing. Is there anything else we need to say?
I can think of for today.
No, I think that's about it. Unless somebody wants to ask a question.
Is there a bearing between the marks card online, or?
Is there a what?
Bearing between marks. Dublin Bay would have one, but
If you go on the Dublin Bay website,
It is the DBSE one from last year, is it?
if you go on the Dublin Bay website, there is a chart there with bearings between, and it's going to be pretty helpful for today's. Cover most of the legs anyway.
you won't have the Volvo marks on it, but if you put them into your GPS, you'll pick them up.
Send the I'll send the 2025 bearing. Yeah, perfect. Cheers. Thank you. The general Rathdown.
Just to clarify on the amendments.
Oh yes, we had some amendments posted last night. So there were some amendments. Just in case you didn't see the amendments, the first thing is that there's a couple of admin amendments which I won't need to go through, but the one that's important for today is that the non-Spinnaker 1 boats are racing now in Group 2 today. They've been moved from Group 1 to Group 2. There's also an amendment about tomorrow about how you can fly. We can add. What's your flag, Eddie? The whiskey, is it? Or Foxtrot. We can flag Foxtrot at a mark, which means when you're around that mark, you go straight to the finish. It's an all.
There's an amendment saying that we have to fly the class flags.
The class flags, yeah. For today, today's race, if you fly the class flag, you're going to fly tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday.
We're not type of one design book, we don't have to fly class flag. Design class.
What you saying?
One design classes, they normally don't have any way of flying a class flag.
Okay. No, we'll recognise the one design classes. Okay, that's fine. If you're an SB20 or something, or a Dragon, you don't need a class flag, yeah. Okay. So the committee I should say, just to clear what the start line will be, it's between, at the starboard end, I'll be on Concerto. It's a big white Dufour 45 yacht. And at the port end, Eddie will be in Corinthian, the new Dublin Bay committee boat. And yeah, it'll be about 800 metres long, the start line.
If anybody's being
And we have, we've also put in a change to sailing instructions that there will be inner limit marks. There'll be an orange tetrahedral fairly close to each committee boat, just to, and please don't sail between the tetrahedral mark and the committee boat.
Fleets 1 and 2 or A and B? Because we need to indicate if we're short.
So 1 and 2.
Yeah, so we'll put an S flag over 1 or 2 or both.
Yeah, if we need to shorten this race today, we have another committee boat, Spirit of the Irish, available, and they will. An obvious place to shorten, where it has to be at a turning marker, is either the Volvo 5 or the Muglands. So, I think it's unlikely we'll be shortening Group 1, but there's a possibility that we'll see how Group 2 get on, and he'll be flying S over either the 1 or the 2, whatever the relevant, or both. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, everybody, and enjoy your week. Thank you.